Hey folks, how you going? This is Tano Tastes, where we review and taste, well, not really review, but kind of.
Kind of.
Taste.
We taste it.
Japanese shochu.
Shochu.
Shochu. We are also a part of Tano Spirits. I'm Fletch.
I'm Kevin.
And we're in the process of setting up a distillery, which you can find out all about here, somewhere.
At the thing, yeah.
But in Tano Tastes, we're just talking about our collection of shochu.
That's right.
Kevin and I both have a very large collection of shochu, and we like drinking it. And we want you to like drinking it. So tonight we're going to talk about Hakusen Shuzo, which is the name of the distillery. And this is the Hanakon Hanamikura.
And it is an Imo Shochu.
Imo Shochu. What's an Imo Shochu, you'd say? What is an Imo Shochu? Imo is a Japanese word for sweet potato. Imo Shochu is one of the most popular drinks when it comes to shochu in Japan, or in general, next to mugi. It is, if you've never tried it before, how would you explain it, Kev?
Whoa, it's like drinking a sweet potato.
Yeah.
But in like a nice way.
In a really nice way. In a really nice way. Yeah. I don't know if there's anybody that doesn't like sweet potatoes, but if you don't like sweet potatoes, off. No, just kidding.
Good. It's so good.
So good. We're going to explain a bit about this one, right? So tell us a little bit, Kev, about Hakusen.
Hakusen. So Hakusen Shuzo is from the Gifu prefecture in central Honshu. So for those who don't know, central Honshu is the main island where Kyoto is, and it sort of sits right smack bang in the middle-ish, just kind of above Toyota and then to the east of Kyoto.
Yeah.
And it is, what's interesting about that actually is typically Honshu is it's not really an emo producing region, like that's usually reserved to Kyushu, which is in the south.
For rice and barley.
Much more rice, much more barley. Not so much an Imo Shochu producing region. Yeah. But this is an Imo Shochu.
This is an Imo Shochu from central Japan, which is really strange. Climate's a little different, not as warm as it is down Kyushu. But the funny thing about this is that these guys are not really known for making sweet potato shochu.
Yeah.
Right? They are mostly actually known for sake and mirin. That's their big thing. Yeah. They do also make a few shochus though. One of their really popular ones is their Kasatori shochu.
I can't wait to.
Which is we'll get to that one. It's one of our favorites.
So good.
But that's a sake-ly shochu.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that they also made an Imo shochu, and I'm assuming that this is local sweet potatoes, and they actually use a purple sweet potato. When they say purple sweet potato, I think it's purple flesh and purple skin.
Yeah, because often the ones you'll find in the supermarket are usually
you don't get that.
They don't get them. Yeah, we get the
white skin, purple flesh.
White skin. Yeah.
Very, very rare in Australia to get that. So you probably never tried that if you're in Australia.
Usually the gold ones we get.
That's right.
The yellow or the orange ones is the typical one we get. But this is a purple sweet potato, which again expands the flavor profile that you can expect in any given shochu.
Yeah, these guys have been making sake and mirin predominantly I think it was something like 300 kiloliters of mirin and 200 kiloliters of sake since like 1850s.
Yeah, they're a big, well-known sake producer.
Yes, they are. So to have a shochu from somewhere like that is an absolute special treat for me, actually.
And you've had it, on your shelf for a while. You didn't know this.
I've had it. Yeah, I mean, I have a collection, and sometimes I don't delve into, and doing these talks and these tastings is just as much for us to learn as it is to actually teach you, because we have shit on our shelves that we love tasting, but we don't know a lot about it, right? So I don't know too much. I think that's in terms of what this drink actually is and how it's made, we actually do not know. We could not find in English a lot of information on actually how it's made, what it's made from. And usually we'd be talking about, we've got our 5 pillars, right? When we're talking about this, we got region, we got the base ingredient, we got the koji use, we got, is it atmospheric or vacuum distilled? What kind of yeast does it use? We only know 2 of those. We know where it's made and we know the base ingredient, right? And that's it. So, I think what we need to actually do, dude, is actually just taste this because we can't answer anything else without it.
Get into it.
Let's just give this a go.
Yeah, I was reading the back of it while you're talking there, and the back of it says made with Imo, koji, water, yeast. I was like, cool. That sounds about right.
Maybe sweet potato, koji, water, and yeast, and that is what all shochu is made out of. Those 4 things. But there's variety in this. So let's just dig right into this one and start.
Yeah. So it smells like a sweet potato.
I can tell you straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Right now. And it'd be funny if I'm wrong. Like, if we're ever wrong with this shit, just let us know in the comments because we need to know, right? This is absolutely atmospheric distilled.
Okay, I'd hope so because it's an Imo Shochu, which it really trades on that deepness of flavor. Its earthiness. It's that sweet potato flavor, and if you vacuum distill it, you lose a lot of that, which is not necessarily bad.
I have some vacuum distilled sweet potato shochu on my shelf.
Oh, okay.
It's very floral. It's very like high-end floral, very delicate. It's not earthy like this smells. Umami-wise, like on the nose, see, Kev's the guy that'll always just dive in and drink it. I'm going to sit there and like sniff it for a little while. I didn't even see what I can work out from the smell, you know?
Nah, I'm getting straight into it. And,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's really nice.
It's
really nice.
That's Fletch's flavor notes. It's really nice.
It's really nice. My tasting notes. Wow, it's really nice, guys. Okay, all right. So, without going into flavor profile, I would actually say atmospheric distilled white koji, not black koji.
Okay, why would you say that?
I feel like it's not.
Doesn't have that.
It doesn't have that high umami.
Yeah.
Right? Massive. Like, it has some. It also doesn't have those elements that I would feel come from citric acid distillation. Like, the floral notes are really quite muted in this, and it's not. I'm not picking up floral notes on the back or anything like that. And generally, like, you know, you drink like a good like Mugi, like the last episode, or an Awamori,
like the last
something.
Episode where we had it said it was black koji. We could tell it was black koji, and we were talking umami bombs. This one much more doesn't have that same umami. Still has a lot of flavor. It's slightly more.
It's earthy.
It's earthy, but it doesn't have that. It's earthy, but there's like it's not as sweet.
It's not mushroomy.
Not mushroomy, yeah.
Not high in the mushroom level.
No, not high in the mushroom level.
Like, so sweet potato shochus tend towards a little oiliness, like more than any other shochu. It's got a little bit of that. We have a flavour tasting profile.
Which I'm currently looking at right now,
trying to figure out. That we do look at and take a look at.
What do I need to do?
It's not our Bible, but it's interesting to kind of like give a little. It's sweet. It is sweet. It is sweet.
Not. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of apple, pineapple. I'm also getting some of that. I don't know. I want to say not lavender. There's something there. It honestly just tastes like a pretty, not standard, but it's a sweet potato shochu.
It's a sweet potato shochu.
Yeah.
But for the people that haven't tried what a sweet potato shochu means, think about candied yams in a way. Like it's like kind of like when you bake a sweet potato, and you put like maybe a little bit of a honey glaze
on a sweet potato. That's what this is.
Now,
that's exactly what this is.
Right?
Yeah, maybe
mash it up
maybe
into
a little bit
water.
Of spice in it as well. Maybe a little bit of cumin or clove or something like that. And that's kind of what you're getting at. It's not that really spiciness, but
that would be an amazing cocktail. I never really thought about having like a clove cocktail with Imo Shochu. That's a whole nother bloody ballpark.
Yeah. that's how I
Slight
would
bitterness,
describe
not as much on the bitter angle as like a Mugi Shochu or anything like that. No astringency. It's not dry.
There's a bit of astringency at the end. Once you've swallowed it, there's a little bit of like lingering astringency, which is kind of prickles a little bit, but it's not bad. And again, for those of you at home who don't know, this is 25% ABV. So
25%.
we're drinking this, and it's not
Mid-strength.
You don't get that alcohol burn. You don't get that. When you go to a gin place and they ask you to drink straight gin, and you're just like it doesn't have any of that. Like, it smells like it should do, which is a thing commonly with shochu because it is single distilled. You get all the smell, but you don't get that same burn as you swallow it.
Do you know one thing that I get from most Imo Shochus? And I know it's a weird one. It's not on the flavour wheel or anything, but a predominant thing that I get, and it's really prevalent in vacuum distilled Imo Shochus or blended Imo Shochus, like that Dayamu one. I always get a tiny hint of lychee in Imo Shochu. Like, sometimes it's really high, sometimes it's low.
Yes, there's a little bit of lychee.
There's always a little bit of lychee in an Imo Shochu.
It's not on the flavour wheel.
It's not there.
It's not
Should
there.
be. Screw you, flavour wheel. I was going to rip that just for effect, but the moment's over.
We need it.
Yeah.
No.
So what we're actually going to do now is we're going to switch this up.
So last time we added something to the shochu was a barley episode, and we put some ice in it just to express how the flavour changes when you cool it down. Now we're going to do the exact opposite. Imo is really, as we say, it's really earthy. It's kind of more of that winter beverage. So it's winter here in Melbourne right now, which means we're going to add some hot water, some hot water.
Not quite boiling, quite hot. There is a specific temperature they say to put it at.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of wankery and experimentation on that one, but I agree. Yeah, there's definitely ways you can do it. So what we're going to do now is we've both got kind of maybe half a glass of maybe
We're gonna go. I think we're gonna go like. I think the ratio, this from memory, is something like 2 to 3 out of a 5-point ratio, right? So I think that generally a lot of people will do 2 parts shochu, 3 parts hot water.
Sounds good. Yeah, so a bit more hot water than you want shochu.
Yeah, a little bit more.
We're going to be
maybe
we're in a much smaller glass. These are not what I would say typical shochu drinking glasses.
These are sake cups.
These are sake cups.
These are sake cups.
So
we'll get some when we go to Japan.
Not quite the same.
But send us some.
I have some actually.
You have some?
The next episode I'll bring them round. I did not think about it. This is hot.
All right.
So
this is hot. So Kevin's going to try not to burn his hands because I didn't really give him a great idea of this. But hey, good job.
Wait, so there you go.
All right.
A little bit in there, and then a little bit from me.
It's still fucking really hot.
So just gonna give that.
Now this is called
a stir.
Oyuwari.
Oyuwari, yes. Oyuwari means hot with hot water.
Oyuwari with hot water.
Okay.
So very traditional way of drinking Imo Shochu. It is probably my favourite way of drinking Imo Shochu.
It's good.
It's like a cup of beautiful alcohol.
Sometimes it gives a bit more vapour off of it, so you get more of that smell. I'm not getting it here, probably because it's a smaller cup. But Kampai.
Oh, that's perfect temperature. Man. I sometimes late at night, when I've finished everything and doing all the things that I've done, I will sit down, I'll put on some sci-fi. If it's a cold winter's night, I will just make myself an Imo with some hot water, and it's like a cup of alcoholic sweet potato tea.
It's coming from Scotland and having that hot toddy in winter. You have whiskey, honey, lemon, hot water. Such a warming beverage. But still, it's still quite a strong drink. You can, it's got the whiskey, it's got the lemon. It's quite a lot. This is so delicate.
Yeah.
And the flavor changes a lot as well. You lose. I don't know actually. I'm trying to find it.
On a scale of imo-ness, which is a new word that we're going to use. On a scale of imo-ness, saying, and what I mean by that is like, it's light, it's heavy. Where would you probably fit this one into on that scale? On a 1 to 10 scale, is it really full on heavy imo, or is it like light kind of? I'd say it's
I'd say it's kind of in the middle. Like
six.
it's
Tends towards heavier.
Definitely is a heavier
Yeah.
emo. It's not. It has that good balance of sweetness and earthiness. When you put the hot water in it, I feel like it gets a little bit more. I don't know. Say the word prickly. Slightly more bitter. Do you get that?
A little tiny bit more bitter. A little bit more. Like that prickliness that you get from a headsy kind of a thing, right?
A little bit,
like,
yeah.
I asked you about the scale because for me personally, when it comes to Oyawari and Imo Shochu, I like it when it's like dank and heavy, like really, really heavy,
This is not
heavy
a
sweet.
heavy,
It's not a heavy
emo.
one, right?
No, this is not heavy Imo Shochu, no.
So I would probably drink, personally, I would drink this straight.
Yeah, right? I think this one is not as good on
Oyawari.
With Oyawari, which is maybe not a good example for those who listening, watching.
He has such a better pronunciation than me. I'm like, Oyawari, mate.
We are Australian.
You're making an effort.
We're 50% Australian.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would probably just drink. I would just drink this straight up. Right.
This is so good on its own. I don't think it necessarily needs to be. There's some that really benefit with hot water. This one I think is nice, but it is not.
It's nice, but it's not knocking my socks off.
No. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's not like punching me out. It's kind of like, yeah, this is cool.
It's fine, and you can play around with the ratio. Maybe we can put a bit more water in it or a bit more emo in it. It might change it, but it is a really popular way of enjoying shochu. And it's highly recommended with something like emo. Barley can work. Rice tends not to work very well with hot water. I did have that Kasatori shochu that I talked about. Yep. Really, really bloody good with hot water. But you know, it's something that you can play with, and I think it's a really forgiving spirit. You know, there's sometimes you sit down and have a whiskey. I've sat down and had a whiskey some nights watching Netflix, and I've just put a lot bit too much water in my whiskey, and I've gone, well, fuck.
Yeah, I fucked it now. You might as well put a piece of ice in it and some Coke.
I'm now just like, I'm just going to struggle through this. Whereas with shochu, I'm like,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. And even if it does, like, it's 25%.
It changes so much.
You know,
those
very rarely wipe all the flavor out of it, which is really really cool about shochu. So
I would say that this is, I mean, it's a delicious shochu. I would say that this for an Imo Shochu, I think this is a really good introduction.
It is.
Imo Shochu.
It is a really good introduction.
It's a really good introduction to Shochu. It's not so far out there in the atmospheric, florally kind of side, and it's not so deep and heavy that it'll be like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But if I was to give somebody their first taste of an Imo Shochu, something like this would be a really good one.
Yeah.
We didn't do this on purpose. I just picked something off my shelf.
Yeah,
basically.
We have a lot of bottles to get through over the next few months.
But yeah, look, what's your last thoughts on this one?
Probably one of the better Imo Shochus I've had straight. One of the more disappointing ones I've had. Oyawari. We're not going to try it with ice because typically emo does not work as well with ice. But I mean, up to you. If you want to put water in it and ice in it, that's up to you.
Generally, when I have an emo with Oyawari with hot water, it really makes a massive impact.
Yeah,
right? Like it really a good one that goes with hot water might honestly not taste that great straight up. You know, it might be like, yeah, this is good like that, but there's certain ones that you just add that hot water to, and then all of a sudden it's like totally different. Freaking planet, right?
It's on, yeah.
Totally different planet, man. This one, it's better straight up. I just drink this straight from the bottle.
Yeah.
And do it like that.
Yeah.
All in all, though, very, very, very nice shochu, and I enjoyed drinking it.
It was good. I'm impressed that you've got so much of it still in the bottle.
I'm upset that I have so much still in the bottle. It's because I have so many bottles, Kevin.
So many bottles.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, this has been a pretty cool just kind of chat about this beautiful Imo Shochu.
Yeah.
And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. We're going to have a lot more of this coming, right?
We're going to have a lot more of this coming. Yeah, this is only the first couple of episodes, so if you have any comments, any critiques, please let us know. And we'll see you at the next Tano Talks.
Drink up, bitches. Is that our catchphrase? We're still working on the end phrase.
We're still workshopping.
We're going to try a few things, okay? Kanpai.
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 That works at least.